I grabbed 2 buck decoys. Both of them are like archery decoys. So I took the antlers off one of them to make it look like a doe, and then I took the other one with the antlers and I mounted it. So I put it in the middle of my food plot. I was hunting on ground level and I did a rattling sequence. And all of a sudden I hear a deer running. And this buck, the 10 pointer that I was after, showed up the day I was hunting. He ran 300 yards across my neighbor's property, jumped across the creek and got on my side where I was hunting. When I was looking for my scopes, I was counting the points because where I live, you have to have 4 points on one side to make it legal to shoot. And so I saw 4 points, and I probably had a hole the size of a golf ball to shoot.
Grab your gear, find your stand, and listen in as we share another journey that shapes a hunter's legacy.
All right, here we go again. Welcome back to another episode of A Hunter's Legacy, the only hunting podcast that ditches the pros for the average Joes. This week we're in Missouri again. What's going on, man? We got Jackson.
Oh, going great. I'm doing great.
Cool. Glad to have you on here. Why don't you go ahead and take a little time to introduce yourself, then we can kind of roll into the hunting and go from there.
Sounds great. So, hi, my name is Jackson Knight. I am an owner of a small business called Trapper Jack Pest Service. I mainly trap raccoons, groundhogs, armadillos, squirrels, moles, any critter. On the sidelines, I design hunting properties. I also work in water restoration areas to clear out ponds and lakes from invasives. When I'm not doing that, I'm a endurance athlete for your Spartan race and also a diehard deer hunter.
Endurance athlete, huh? How much
Yes.
endurance are we talking?
So I used to run 210 miles a week,
Oh my God.
but this year I'm going to the World Championships in Greece, so I change up my routine each year so my body doesn't get adapted as much. But I like to aim for at least um, 30 to 50 miles a week of just running and exercising.
What's your mile time?
So the quickest half I have done while training was 15 miles in 1 hour and 45 minutes.
15 miles?
Yes.
Okay. So like seven-ish minute miles?
Yeah.
Okay. My ultimate goal is to run a half marathon at that pace. Got a long ways to go.
The trick to run with that, what I've learned, because I started my fitness journey 3 years ago, is you got to start off with the basics, the nutrition. You go from nutrition to running to weight training, and then to supplements.
I've done the weight training a lot. And I was really fast sprinter in high school. And I've been running for a couple years and I never really focused on my form. Last year I was right at 9 minutes for a half marathon, and I was probably running during the 5-day work week. I was probably running 6 miles or 7 miles total, like a mile or two a day. And then the long run on Saturday, no speed work or anything. So I feel like I left a lot out there.
That's pretty good. So like my average day for like weight training and running is basically wake up around 4 a.m., go run 3 miles and go in like 30 minutes, and then go swim, do 36 laps. That's 1 mile, and then do weight training for 2 hours and then go to work. Yeah.
You mentioned you were doing a little work on designing hunting properties. Let's go into that a little bit before.
Okay. So my family farm, um, mainly we have like a lot of eastern red cedar thickets. We have a lot of creek bottoms. We got little like thin pieces of cover like pin oaks. You got some sycamores, shineback hickories, and you got some swampy areas. So I've been working on my family's farm, I would say since I was 11. I just turned 30. So over the years, what I do is I walk a property over and I figure out where the food's at, where the water's at, and where's the cover at. And then from there, I figure out which trails are active. And then from that, I figure out where the most likely they're going to be bedding at. So, how my property wraps up, it butts up to four other properties. I'm the only property in my area, close to my area, that has a lot of cover to it. Most of the fields around me are just open ag fields that you can see 100 yards across. So what I do is I put in food plots. So right now I have four variants of soybeans down my woods. I have deer stands hanged up. I also have some water places set up for like ambushing that buck, especially around September, and I just go from there.
Have you hired out your services to other farms, or are you mainly just family farm?
What I generally do is I kind of work on my main farm, but if someone calls me up saying, "Hey, I need your help to design a hunting property," then I'm all ears. I did a couple properties 2 years ago. This one guy had, I want to say, had 500 acres, just land, just old ag fields, and I talked with him, met him in person, kind of came up with a design plan, and but yeah, it's mainly just someone's interested, they just call me up and I start working with them.
Something you really enjoy, huh?
Yeah.
What'd you say you did full time again?
So my company name is Trapper Jack.
Oh, that's right, the pest control.
Yeah, I'm a pest control. I trap critters 365 days a year.
What do you catch the most of?
Moles. I do
Really?
moles, raccoons, squirrels, armadillos. Have caught some beavers and a black coyote.
Black coyote, huh?
Yeah, it was like solid black as coal.
That's pretty cool. Not a big fan of moles. Not a big fan of moles. They moved into my yard coincidentally after I reseeded it last fall and was watering, so they like the nice moist ground. I'm like, just get out of here.
Yeah,
They ended up leaving right as I got the trap from Amazon, so that's how it goes.
yeah.
How'd you get started hunting, Jackson? How long you been hunting?
I I started hunting when I was 11, but I've been going with my dad ever since I was able to walk. And so the way it would go is my dad would grab his 12 gauge bone crusher. My mother would wake me up and give me some hot chocolate and a blanket, and me and him would walk to the deer stand while I covered up like a giant, kind of like a burrito, with just the layers of blanket. And I would watch the deer come into our field, and my dad would pick a deer out and you just shoot it. But once I got old enough, my grandfather was also a hunter ed instructor, so he taught me like the basics of hunting. And then I took my hunter ed safety course, and then I started hunting with my dad after that.
How long do you think you were going with them, just sitting along, tagging along before you actually got to go out and hunt?
I would honestly say I didn't really get. I said for 3 years, three solid hunting seasons.
Is there any hunts from that time that stick out more than the others?
The one hunting thing that I remember was the first time my dad ever took me hunting that I was actually allowed to have a firearm. We went to my neighbor's farm in the morning, didn't see anything. We saw a lot of does, but I was mainly after a buck on that farm. When we came back home to eat some breakfast, I was watching Tom and Jerry while my dad was cooking some flapjacks and sausage and eggs. And my dog was on the deck and he started barking very strangely. And our farm we hunt is literally in our backyard. I looked out and there was like six deer, like 50 yards from the back door, just eating grass. So I snuck into my mom and dad's room where my dad was sleeping, woke him up, and he's like, go outside and grab the guns from my truck. So any 11-year-old would shut the door quietly as possible, and I quietly ran to the truck, got the guns, brought them inside. I got up to my dad, and he's like, "There's doe left. The 4 of them with a thick cover." So we got on our kitchen deck, and we saw the doe. This doe, I would say 80 yards, and I was using my dad's 12 gauge bone crusher. And I was shooting kind of an angle. So like I had a 50% chance of hitting the house, 50% chance of not hitting the house. So I lined my sights up and I shot. And soon as I shot, it just felt like everything around me was in slow motion. I looked to my dad and he was just like looking at me. And soon I went back in reality, the deer dropped. I was like, oh my God. I was freaking I was so excited. And my dad, generally around here, if you shoot a deer, you have to like, it's not advised to run up to a deer once it's like been shot, but you have to put a bullet in it just in case, because deer where I live are known to run away after being shot. And they could go 2 or 300 yards. So my dad ran up, put a bullet in the deer again, and he came down and he looked and he's like, "Where did you shoot this deer?" I'm just like, I was aiming at the shoulder. And he's like, "You shot this deer in the butt." He's like, "How did you tell?" It literally peed and pooped a perfect circle around the deer and just died. But that was the happiest moment. After that day, I was hooked on deer. I I couldn't get enough of it.
What'd you say it was? Bone crusher? 12 gauge bone crusher?
Yeah, so it was a 12 gauge Remington pump shotgun. And the my dad called it bone crush because every time he probably killed hundreds of deer with that gun. And like soon you shoot a deer, it just crushes bone and just deer drops immediately. Doesn't run half the time. And that name stuck.
Okay, it wasn't an actual model, it was just what he called it.
Yeah, it was just a nickname.
I'm like, I that sounds like a pretty cool gun.
Yeah, it was.
Still got it?
Oh, we still got it. I Me and my brother, my dad have killed a lot of deer with that gun.
It's amazing how
Yeah, it
guns can
is.
carry sentimental value like that.
Oh, it does.
Okay, how old did you say you were at that point?
I was I was a sophomore in high school, so I was probably 15.
And that was the first deer you were able to harvest?
Yeah.
It's a pretty surreal feeling, especially spending all that time hunting with your dad, and you finally get the opportunity and you make it happen, and at that age, all you wanna do is make your dad proud.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, you ended up getting this deer. Walk us through what you guys did next. He make you gut it? Did he take care of it?
So, once I got to the scene, because I had to, get out of the house and walked 80 yards to our dried up pond. Once we got there, he told me, he gave me a knife, and so I somewhat started gutting the deer, and I kinda stopped halfway because, the smell was just horrible. And then my dad took over after, then he started gagging. So it was kind of funny, but
You
after we
think it
got
was
the
a shot, or you just went too deep when you were gutting?
I think the shot went through the deer's butt and wrecked everything, wrecked the liver, the lungs, the guts, it wrecked and it came out almost, I would say, the opposite shoulder.
Okay.
So it just destroyed everything, and, the opposite shoulder, that leg is broken. So if it did try to run, it wouldn't run that far, but that's why my dad finished it off when he did.
Can't imagine the smell.
Oh, yeah. After we got the deer gut and everything, we took some pictures, and then we waited till my brother got home from school because I skipped school that day to go deer hunting. And me and him and my brother and my dad, we all rode in his truck to his buddy's place to drop the deer off in a giant like commercial cooler. And this cooler, I would say, it could house like 30 deer. It was a massive. And it was the my deer was like the first one in it. So, but he told me that deer probably weighed after we removed the guts. I said the guts are like 50 pounds total, but I say I probably got anywhere from like I would say 120 to 130 pounds of meat out of that deer.
Really? That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty surreal feeling getting your first deer, and was that a I can't you said that was a doe?
Yeah, it was a doe. It was a mature doe, and I was showing all my friends, all my teachers on the deer I got on the day I wasn't at school. It was yeah, that bragging kind of feeling was like it lasted a week, but it was a great time. My grandfather came by, checked out the deer, and he was happy. I mean, he gave me a high five. It was great. It was a great feeling.
How long did it take for you to get your first buck?
Oh, okay. So I got two buck huntings. First, we're talking about a buck from Missouri, or we're going to talk about a buck from a different state.
I wanna hear about your first buck, and then we can go into some more stories, whatever you wanna cover.
So I say my first buck was a buck I shot uh, last November during the Missouri gun season.
That was your first buck?
First trophy buck.
Okay.
So the way how it story played out was my we had three bucks on the property. We had a big wide eight, a big 10 pointer, and I would say a big old 12. And we're hunting where we hunt. We have like we're probably hunting over like an acre of clearance that I cleared out from like doing wildlife habitat management stuff. And I told my dad, I was like, if you see the 10 pointer, shoot it. He's like, okay. So I kind of jokingly said, hey, I'll give you 7 days to kill this deer. If you can't kill this deer off in 7 days, I'm going to come in and kill that deer for you. So while I was at work, my dad hunted hard for 7 days straight during his vacation time to kill this deer. He saw does, he saw some small bucks, but he didn't really see anything that was worth mounting. He's more of a trophy hunter. So uh, that day, I got a call. It was on a Tuesday. I got called there's a bat in someone's house. So I went to the scene where I caught a bat with my bare hands, took the bat out, let it go, took my dog to the vet, and then got home late. I would say probably around 3:30. So this food plot I had set had some oats in it. It had a clover in it. It had some peas in it. It had like everything, even some brassica in it. So I grabbed two buck decoys. Both of them are like archery decoys. So I took the antlers off one of them to make it look like a doe, and then I took the other one with the antlers and I mounted it. So I put it in the middle of my food plot. I was hunting on ground level, and I did a rattling sequence. And I did a rattling with a buck with a doe bleed. I probably for like 10 minutes. While and then I just stopped and waited. And all of a sudden I hear a deer running. And this buck, the 10 pointer that I was after, showed up the day I was hunting. He ran 300 yards across my neighbor's property, jumped across the creek, and got on my side where I was hunting. When I was looking for my scopes, I was counting the points because where I live, you have to have 4 points on one side to make it legal to shoot. And so I saw 4 points, and I probably had a hole the size of a golf ball to shoot. I was using my custom 7 Remington mag. I just got it that year. I lined my sights up and I shot it. The shot was perfect. But this buck had a lot of adrenaline left. So he jumped back across the creek, ran into 4 other properties, and got onto the neighbor's open field. And I lost sight of him. I was freaking out, calling my dad like, "Hey, I got a buck." But luckily, the buck that where it died on was one of my clients. In the past, I used to trap moles for. So I called her, I showed up to her house, knocked on the door, and said, "Hey, can I go retrieve my deer?" And she's like, "Yeah, go ahead." I get to the scene where I saw where the buck jumped across. There was no blood for 80 yards, not a single drip of blood. I started panicking. I'm just like, I knew I hit him good, but there was no blood. So I started looking and looking and looking, and 300 yards later, there was this big old white belly laying in a ditch. And as soon as I got close, I got my rifle and I loaded it up just in case it got up again. I was going to shoot it. So I poked the rifle, barrel of my rifle on that deer, and it didn't move. So I knew it was dead. I lifted his side up, and it was actually the 10 pointer. I thought I shot the white ape, but it was actually the 10 pointer I shot. It was the most unreal moment ever because I worked so hard on that property. I've been hunting that property since I was 11 for like 19 years. I hunted that and I never shot a buck off that property. There's always been does. So that buck was like a reward for all the hard work I put on that property. And that deer, lightweight, I would probably say he was 220.
That's how much he weighed.
Yeah, 220. He was a big deer. The rack on it, I would say 150.
Yep.
Big deer, big body. And then I had to drag him 300 yards to the spot where I shot him, where I kind of retrieved him at, and dragged him back to my truck. And let me tell you, if you feel like you're out of shape dragging a deer, I've been there. It was like the longest drag ever, but it was worth every second.
You couldn't get the vehicle access where you were at?
No, because earlier that day it rained a lot, so it was like very muddy, and um, I didn't want to drive into her fields. I was being respectful of the land, and I told her I was dragging the deer to the truck and load it there, and she's like, "That's fine." So yeah, and right around when I got this deer, I say it was 5:30, and by the time I got him to the truck, I say it was probably little over 6 o'clock.
It was that fast, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what was I gonna say? So, yeah, you drug it that far. In Missouri, can a landowner turn you down from recovering a deer?
I feel like it can't. I feel like that is possible because I have had other hunters ask me to get on my property, and I said no. But my rule is if you walk up, knock on the door, and you ask very nicely to it, I can guarantee they will say yes. But if you just show up on their property and not ask their permission, you're not getting that deer.
And part of it is if somebody's trying to track a deer on my property and they kind of explain where it goes in and there's no blood like coming across, I don't think so. If it's a good blood trail and I can tell that deer's down or see it, then sure. But if they hit it in the dead zone and they think they're going to track it, I don't think so.
Yeah, I've actually had deer hunting. I have a family farm up in North Missouri near Milan, Missouri, and I shot a buck up there, but we couldn't retrieve the body of the deer because it died on the neighboring property. And my family and that neighbor hated each other, so I couldn't get that deer. So, in some parts of Missouri, you probably won't get that deer.
That's terrible. In Iowa, as long as you don't have a weapon, you don't even have to ask for permission.
Really, that is crazy.
I mean, it's kind of a respect thing. I've turned people down. It wasn't my property, as neighbors. And I made the call. Like, they showed me where the deer crossed. There wasn't blood. I seen the deer running because they were doing a deer drive. It was probably 3/4 of a mile still running after they shot.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't think so, buddy.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like you actually hit the deer. It sounds like you just possibly grazed a deer.
Now, I drove around the section when they were still running around, and I could see that they kind of hit it in the loin, the dead zone. Yeah, you're not. Just the way it was set up, it was kind of a sanctuary, like 40 acres where everybody would push deer to.
Mhm.
Well, we wait for everybody to push deer to it before we start. So if we would have let them go in there and track this wounded deer, they would have pushed all the deer out before we even had a chance to walk it.
Wow,
Luckily, we were able to keep them out.
that's good.
Yeah, people pull that stuff all the time.
So, like, is, deer drives is it still popular in Iowa?
That was probably 10 years ago. It's
Wow.
gone downhill in popularity a lot. I don't do it anymore. That was probably about right when I wrapped it up. I haven't gone in 7, 10 years. It's been a long time. Have you ever done a deer drive?
I've done a rabbit drive without no deer drive.
How's a rabbit drive work?
So, way my dad's dad, the way he would do it, he had 3 beagles, and you'll have one guy going in the center of a property with the dogs, and you would have shooters on the outskirt of the property, like, I would say 50 to 80 yards away, and then when the rabbit got spooked, the rabbit would run towards those section of corner where the shooters were waiting for the rabbits.
I guess I've done some rabbit drives before.
It was fun. When I did it with him, we always got like 2 or 3 of them.
By rabbit drives, I mean when you get down to the last pass, combine and corn, just get on the end and let the combine do the driving, and you catch them as they come out.
Yeah.
It's pretty effective.
I bet that's one way. I never thought about doing that.
There's always rabbits, man. You're guaranteed 2 of them, and maybe some pheasants. You never know what's gonna come out.
What about armadillos?
No, we don't have them up here, no.
Oh, really? And you're lucky 'cause I've seen most of the time when I'm hunting with the corn and all the harvests going on, most of the time it's either armadillos coming out, some squirrels, turkeys, and deer, but not a lot of rabbits.
You don't like armadillos?
No, they dig giant holes, and they're more of a nuisance. They tear up food plots like crazy.
Do they really?
Yeah, I had to reseed my food plot this spring with beans on it, and the armadillos came in and wrecked it, dug up everything. So I had to manually smooth everything out again, reseed it, just to get it back to growing phases.
No kid they do more damage than raccoons?
Yeah.
Really? We have raccoon problems on the farm where we'll have cattle feed with plastic on top
Mhm.
to keep the moisture out, and the raccoons will just dig right through it and holes everywhere. What do you do with armadillos? Just throw them in the ditch after you shoot them? Are they good for anything?
They're not really good for anything for at least in the state of Missouri. With their blood, it is slightly toxic. It's like when I shoot an armadillo, I will have to like wrap up everything, wrap the body up, and like get a hose and dilute the area where it shot it because that blood will just sit there for days and it has like a horrible smell to it. So by diluting the water with the blood, the smell goes away. Then I just throw the body away in a trash can.
I need to get you in touch with one of my buddies. I've never met the guy. Came across him on a Facebook group or something. We were talking about thermal scopes, and I talked to him for a couple of years. It's been a while, but he's got a pest business out in Ohio.
Really?
A lot of trapping, bats, all that stuff. I'll get you in touch with him.
Sounds great.
But dude's a killer. Like he's out every night thermal coyote hunting. And
That's cool. Yeah, we have an active pack of coyotes on our farm, but where they where their dens are butts up kind of on our property and the neighbor's property, but you could hear them like going crazy in spring. It sounds like a woman getting bloodily murdered.
a lot of coyotes, huh?
A lot of, would say probably 30 plus.
No kidding.
Yeah. And like in my area, no one hunts them. Like they're mainly people around here, they mainly shoot whitetail, a lot of waterfowl, and turkeys. They don't mess with squirrels, rabbits, not even much raccoons either.
You ever go thermal coyote hunting?
I always wanted to go. I had properties to do it at the time, but um, I never had the scope for it.
Dude, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. You need one. It's a business expense, man. It is.
I might have to look into just buy one if you consider it's a business
Well,
expense.
why wouldn't it? It's pest control. I had a Schedule F for farming, and I used it as a tax deduction. They won't even bat an eye at it, especially if
Oh
you're on pest
wow,
control. Oh, all your guns, dude? Calls? Oh, are you writing that stuff off?
I I'm writing. I probably have like $10,000 worth of traps. I write off my truck off, all my traps, but I probably will start writing like guns off and such. But I, my birthday was on Sunday, so my brother got me a ammo call that has 180 calls on it.
What kind of call
So,
is it?
it's that honey hat. It's called the I Hunt. It's like that. It has gators on it. It has raccoons on it. It has mountain lions, bobcat, coyotes. It has everything. It's like what's that, like this tall?
Mhm.
You know, just 2 batteries, and you just play it, and the animals just come running in. So I'm excited to try it here soon.
Thermal optics, no question. It's a business expense.
Okay. I'll just go
Yeah.
buy one right now if that's the case.
No, I mean, dead serious. If you're taking care of raccoons, like, same with, like, a suppressor, oh, absolutely, they would never even bat an eye at. That's your business, man, like, shooting raccoons. You can shoot raccoons after dark. But rifles, suppressors, calls, optics, no question, it's a business expense. Like, maybe you don't take, like, your business dollars to pay for it, but in terms of, like, taxes and stuff like that, no question, it'll be a tax deduction.
That's a good idea because, especially in areas where I trap in a lot of rurals and, like, high, like, kinda richy areas for communities, and when I trapped out there, I used to hang up, deer hunting blinds all over the place. And then I would set traps because, like, while in those areas, people don't kinda like it, animal being caught in the open, but if they go inside a deer blind and they don't see it, nothing ever happened. So, that's what I kinda do in those areas. I would set either, like, a, foot trap. Most of the time would be, like, a foot trap.
Mhm. But then you don't wanna alert all the people living there, so you gotta have a suppressor on your 22 so they don't even hear it. Or if you're working late, you gotta be able to see, so you might need a thermal optic. Oh,
Okay, now we're talking.
no, no question, it's a tax deduction. Like,
Wow, I never thought about it that way. I've always like, I have an ammo cable. It's It's a pole that has a cable under it, and you press it, and it tightens up the grip. So when I catch something, I put it right and I press it, and it actually kills them within seconds, like very quick, humanely, because the cable gets right around their kind of their neck, what the spinal column needs. You press it, snaps it, so they go out very quietly. So I might, like you said, I might have to look into doing a thermal and a suppressor for night. But yeah,
is that how you put something around their neck and snap their neck?
yes.
Okay. I suppose that'd probably be easier than I've seen the things where it looks like, something you'd, like, put on their nose and it just, like, spring loaded.
I've seen those too, like, it's kinda like you put on their nose and you press up and a little pin comes out and it pokes them around the brain and kills them within seconds. I've seen those.
Yours would work better
I like mine better
because
because
you're not gonna get them to hold still.
especially you have, like, an angry boar style. Yeah, they will go crazy. So, I have done some modification with my pole with the cable in it, and it works like a charm.
Have you ever had any close calls doing your trapping?
Oh, a lot of times. Are we talking like which animal? Because I got stories for different animals.
Let's hear them all.
I say it was a possum job. This one happened last year. My buddy, he owns a roofing company, and he called me. I was like, "Hey, I have a possum that fell through my ceiling, and he's in my office taking a crap. Could you come get him?" So me being me, I showed up. Manhandled this possum, grabbed the possum right by the tail, and I just walked him out, put in the trap in my truck, and drove away. But with coyotes, the black coyote I told you about earlier, this coyote was eating. This was like in suburb area, like a neighborhood. But this coyote pack were actively eating the dogs and cats in this neighborhood. So I found the trail where they were coming in at, and so I put one of these snails. I call it the hangman. I have different traps for different ways of killing critters. But this hangman, it's a cable. Soon an animal walks through it and it tries to move, it tightens it up, it flings them up in the air and hangs them. And they're dead within seconds. So with this coyote, what happened was when I caught it, he had his paw around his neck or on the cable, so it was tied so he couldn't get out. So I had to go in there and do the final blow. But he was angry.
Well, I can see why he's angry.
I caught a beaver. It was had uh, a lady called me like 2 years ago. She lived in this nice house. It had like 80 trees around this lake. She went on vacation. She came back and she had 2 trees left out of 80 trees. So the
How
beaver
long
cut
was she
down
gone?
a week. Beaver cut down all 78 trees and they just left the stumps and they dragged them into this man-made lake. And this lake here, I would say like 5 or 6 acres, but it was really deep, and all the logs are just buried in the center of this. And this beaver was blocking off the sewage area. The so I put up conibear 330 right along this walkway, and that beaver came in there and just got caught in conibear, and then I had to come up with a 22 and finish it off. But I'd said it was a sow beaver. I say she probably weighed 80 pounds.
She had to have had company with her, right? Going through that many trees?
Yeah, then the following next day, I caught the male, and I would say he was probably 60 pounds.
How big were these trees they were chopping down?
They were chopping, but I would say I I didn't see the property prior before the trees were cut down. I would say like mature, like average height.
Mhm. Like a 6-inch tree or something?
Yeah, because she called me after the fact, so I just show up there when there was only like 2 trees left.
That's a lot of trees to go through.
Yeah.
How long have you been into the trapping?
So I went to school for 5 years. I got a degree in wildlife conservation management, and I got a degree in agriculture and also in criminal justice. So with the wildlife conservation management degree, I studied silviculture, I've studied agronomy, I've studied water and soil conservation, mammalogy, entomology, study of insects. I've studied everything. So I have 5 years of schooling and going on 6 years in the field.
We talked about the raccoons we have at the farm. So we have a windbreak, have a lot of bales piled up. Windbreak with like evergreens or spruce, whatever, and sheds full of bales and, some woods quarter mile here, half mile here. And they just get on this plastic and just tear it up. What's the best way to trap them?
So do you have a good size live trap.
There's too many of them, dude. There's a lot.
I would honestly, so with raccoons, the highest I caught at one lady's house was 50 of them.
How long did it take?
3 weeks.
50?
Yeah, I was using a live trap. I make all my bait homemade. I just do a lot of trial and failure. And I had a raccoon in that trap like every night.
Why why would you say a live trap is more effective?
You catch more. I've caught threes, twos, and threes in a good sized live trap. So with raccoons, they they like running in groups.
Mhm.
So like around here, raccoons you count any maybe 10 or 15, maybe 15 to 20 in a group. So on my farm, we had over 60 of them on one trail camera. You see 60 glowing eyes of raccoons. It took a little while to get rid of them, but we did. But with way I do, so if you get a box trap, get like a good size, like go to like bomb guards, go to Tractor Supply or Bass Pro or Dicky Bubs or Academy. Buy a big old box trap. I would honestly buy three of them.
'Cause we have separate bunker like, we could set up 3, no problem.
Yeah. Set up play and the bait I use, this was just between you and me, but and also audience, but I'll tell you. So uh I'm separate from recipes to catch raccoon, but I'll tell you one. So what you're gonna do is get marshmallows, and then you get cherry Kool-Aid,
Cherry
and then you
Kool-Aid?
yeah, and then you get sardines. You mix it up. It looks disgusting. You mix it up and you will catch them. But here recently, I've been just using sardines and cherry flavored Kool Aid. I would mix them up. It'll look like a bloody mess. So you have like pressure plate in the center of the trap. Put the bait on the back of the trap. But when you do it, install like maybe like a cardboard or plywood on the back of the trap so they can't reach in and grab the bait. So like, you have block it off and then put the bait right there. And as soon as they smell it, they will come running in. Like I've had um, raccoons run, smell my bait over 5 to 10 miles away, and they'll just come running into that trap.
What do you mean the cardboard and plywood, so they can't get it from the outside? They have to go
Yes,
in?
yes. So like if you're facing the trap, so like if this front is like the entrance, you only want to block off the corners of the trap, of the back of the trap, so they can't reach in and grab it.
That they have to go through the opening to get to it.
Yes. Yeah. And I've caught them in twos and threes.
What size, like, not like a huge trap, just a normal, whatever, 2.5, 3 feet by, like, 18 by 18 sorta deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
In the way you kind of figure, if you could fit your, so like a skunk trap is going to be small. Skunk trap is probably going to be like your size of your arm, just by the length of it sticking in it. But for raccoons and armadillos, you want the bigger ones.
Halfway deep so you can get multiple in there.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been using the foot traps and caught 1 or 2. They just put dog food in them.
That's like the most common practice I've heard of using foot traps. So when you set up foot traps, like how many foot traps are you setting around these bales and such?
Probably like 3.
So I'm just assuming for your experience, are you just like actively tracking these critters? Like you're figuring out what direction they're coming in?
The bunker walls have dirt at an angle, and the grass is this tall, and you can see the trails.
Gotcha, gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Just we don't have that around here. I'm gonna rely a lot of my tracking through actively scouting and tracking the animal.
That's another use case for a thermal, man. Sit back and do some
Yeah.
scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I lived closer, man. I went out to call coons the other day. It was a couple weeks ago, right at gray light, walking by the cattle bunker, and I looking like I knew they were coons, but I didn't want to shoot just in case, you know.
Hmm. Yeah.
Is the old man's like farm cats. As soon as they started running, I couldn't hit squat. I shot one, and I'm like standing 5 feet away from the wall, and they're kind of like running away from me. Shot one. I think I hit the second one, but didn't kill him. You know what the son of a bitch did? Turn
What?
around, like run between me and this wall, like 5 foot. I'm like, right as he's like down there, I'm like, click. I'm like,
Oh man.
thank God he kept running. They'd, they'd
Oh
tear you
man.
up so fast, man.
Oh, if that happened to me, I would probably shart my pants.
Like, I think I knew he was like trying to get out, and he wasn't
Yeah.
like, but like, he was like so close. I went to pull the trigger, and like, oh, that could have been bad.
Yeah. So were you like actively shooting with a 22 or were you shooting like with a 708 to like what were you shooting with?
12 gauge, man.
Damn. I wow.
Don't ask me how uh,
That is like a 12 gauge. I would figure a 12 gauge would at least kill it.
well, I don't know what I had for choking.
Oh, okay. So you didn't know if it was like modified or
It was
gotcha.
it was modified. It was modified, and it was pheasant. So I don't know.
That's crazy.
When you think about it, yeah, it probably isn't enough to kill them if they're out far enough and the pattern's wide enough. Maybe they're close enough where the pattern wasn't spread out yet, and I wasn't. I don't know. They're probably 30 yards when they were running.
I feel like with that situation, that scenario, I think it also depends on the ammo, though, 12 gauge ammo. If you're using like birdshot, buckshot,
It's birdshot.
slug. Okay, wow. Even with birdshot at that yard, I would hope it would get them, but wow, that's kind of shocking. Damn.
Don't assume it was the ammo.
I've killed like deer with mainly just slugs. But even when I used to do trap shooting, I was a state medalist for Missouri for 5 years running for trap shooting. The ammo I used back then was Winchester, low recoil, low sound, and they were going, I would say, eight 1800 till 1900, just hauling ass across fields when you shoot. And even
I just missed. Don't blame it on the ammo. I missed.
I know
Well, what kind of scores were you shooting when you were placing that trap?
I was getting 23s, 24s, and 25 out of like the way we did it was, yeah, 25 shots per round. And I was like in the 20s every round. The highest I ever got in one round was 80. I want to say it was 83 or 87 out of 100.
My nephew just shot 86 and didn't even place.
Damn, that's very good.
Not even high school yet.
Just give him a couple years. He'll make it. He'll make a team.
He's shooting varsity. He shot varsity at state, and he'll be a freshman next year. Last year's his first year of trap. Never shot at trap before he went out for trap. Just he's got it. I mean, some people just have it. He's just a pretty athletic kid, and I mean, he's just natural. Like he can outshoot me, and I shoot quite a bit.
So like in Iowa, is like the FFA or 4-H, is it popular out there or not really?
Yeah, FFA and 4-H.
Oh, yeah. It was actually kind of funny with when I first started doing trap shooting because I was shooting. I went to an FFA trap shooting practice, and they told me I couldn't do it, couldn't join their team because I wasn't good. And so I took that and joined another team and went state and national champion that year. And I came back to the FA chapter while I was still a member, and I showed all the rewards I got, and the advisor was like, "You can join my team." I'm like, "Nah, I'm good."
When I was in high school, they didn't even have it back then. I'm 37 and went to a pretty small school.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. I was in high school, uh, 2000, yeah, 2010 through 2014.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you go to a pretty decent sized high school?
I'd say it was pretty decent. I'd say per class, so I would say maybe 150 to 180 students per class.
That's I consider that a pretty good size. Graduated 35.
Oh, really? Wow.
You know, you can see why
So
we didn't
like,
have trap.
yeah, that's crazy. So like with your class was 35, did you know everyone or did everyone know everyone?
Well, I knew the whole high school, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hell yeah. It was different. So back to hunting. So you talked about your first decent sized buck. Then you
Mhm.
asked about out of state. Do you do some out of state hunting?
I do a lot of out of state hunting. So with my property where it's at, it's surrounded by hunters on all four sides, and all my neighbors are like, if it's brown, it's down. So I go hunting out of state a lot more just because I can afford to. So, but I generally like to go to North Carolina for deer because with North Carolina, you get 6 deer tags for $100,
Really?
and that's like $2 and 4 does.
North Carolina? That's your choice?
For like, if you want like a lot of deer, because I'm a carnivore, I eat a lot of meat. But this year I'll be going to Texas and Arkansas and Florida for deer hunting this year.
Interesting choices.
The reason why I picked Texas, I'm be hunting the north tip of Texas. The farm I'm hunting, if a 160 to 200 inch buck comes out, you can shoot it. There's no trophy fees.
Really?
Yeah, I'll send you the info.
Do they have them that big there?
Yeah. Well, the section where I'm hunting, they get a lot of big deer. The outfitter reached out to me and he's like, "Are you gonna bow hunt or are you rifle?" I'm gonna bow hunt. That'll be my first ever bow hunting out of state. And the place in Arkansas, their bucks get over 220 for live weight.
Really?
And the outfitter over there has thousands of acres, so they plant all sorts of crops. So they just get thick and big. For the Florida one, even though Florida's not known for deer, my girlfriend wants me to take her deer hunting the first time. But the only rule is I have to shoot a buck first, and then she could shoot a buck bigger than mine.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, but I already have it planned out how I'm going to win that one. So,
Are you just going to guides or outfitters? What are you thinking?
s- I'll be going. So the most of the hunts I do out of state are DIY, do yourself, but you just pay like a hunting lease over that farm for like 5 to 7 days and you have access to the entire farm and then you can shoot whatever you want if you have the right tax for it.
Where do you line that up through?
So I go with on Facebook, it's called Cheap Hunts. A bunch of outfitters upload hunting info about their outfitting. And also I do that's another place I get a lot of hunting trips. Other one I go on, I just search, let's say the top 20 outfitters for such and such state, and I get a list of every outfitter, and then I read the reviews. I look at their success rate, and then I pick which one I has the most positivity in it, and then I go book them.
I'm just curious what your process is for picking which states to go to. Normally, it'd be like Illinois, Kansas, Indiana.
Okay, so if you're gonna answer it that way, uh, Indiana. I'm born from Indiana. I moved to from Indiana to Missouri when I was a kid. So my goal is to get a buck in every state. So I already got one in Missouri. I already got two. I already got one from North Carolina. So next year goal, I'll be trying for Kansas. I got a point this year in the draw system. So I'll definitely try Kansas, Indiana, and Ohio next year.
Are you doing a lot of putting points in every year? Is that what you're doing? Putting points in every year?
Yeah, I mainly focus. For whitetail, I will mainly do Kansas because I have family in Kansas, and also I have connections in Kansas where I could go hunt some land. But I mainly put in a lot of elk points. I do elk points in Pennsylvania and also in Utah. And I also got some points in Montana as well.
That'd be a good place to go.
Yeah, Utah is like, in my opinion, it's like the Wild West.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I don't know if I'd waste your time in Pennsylvania.
I feel like I have better chances in Pennsylvania than Utah.
I've had a couple people on from Pennsylvania, and the residents have extremely hard time getting drawn for Pennsylvania.
That's kind of surprising. I know Kentucky and Tennessee is very hard to draw in that, especially in Arkansas. Arkansas is very hard to draw for elk.
They got elk in Arkansas?
Yeah, at some parts of Arkansas and some parts of Tennessee and Kentucky.
I need to get out more.
Yeah, they have elk in some parts of Nebraska. They have some in South Dakota, North Dakota, Oklahoma, even I would say some parts of Michigan as well.
Oh, for sure, I've heard Michigan. I've heard there's some big elk in Nebraska.
Oh, I've heard too. The out there in Nebraska, you have to pay for outfitter tags, and I heard some outfitter tags going as up to 5 grand,
That's
and
crazy.
that's just crazy to me. And like with Utah, there's some hunts 15 to 20 grand just to kill a limit entry bull elk.
It'd be nice.
Yeah, it'd be nice, but
It better be a guaranteed success rate at that price.
I would hope so. But um, I also listen to a lot of your heard every I listen to every one of your podcasts,
You
and
have?
I listened. This being like my fifth time listening to all of them again.
Really?
Yeah,
Your number one fan, man.
that's why I applied so many times.
I saw your name on there a couple times.
I feel like I probably applied to get on your show at least 20.
Really?
Yeah.
I did you know, were you just like messaging the channel or
So like with your so soon you type in a hunter's legacy and you go on like, hey, you want to be a part of the show? There's this link that you click on this link and then you type your information and it sends a reply directly to you. I probably did the Facebook one, I would say at least 15 times. And then I
okay,
went,
so what say this again, where is this at?
so like on, so what they Hunter's Legacy, like the kind of like on your your page that you ask people, hey, does anyone want to be a part of on the show? And so like I looked at some of your posts in that and like it had like a link on that page that you click on it and you enter your info and go that way. So then after trying that, I tried your website thing, and then I tried a couple times on that, and I just stopped doing it.
Was it all the same form?
Yeah, same form, same format. Yeah,
Okay, I wonder if it only let you, because I only saw your name twice.
interesting. Yeah,
That's when I knew like I better reach out to him.
yeah. It's just like I like what you do and everything about it. It just seems very unique. So like with me, I drive a lot. I drive probably 500, 1,000 miles a week in my pickup truck.
Really?
So I'm constantly listening to podcasts.
What's your favorite episode?
I really like the one, the guy, the North Carolina guy. He's like the ginger. How like he had a, um, he said one of his embarrassing stories was he mixed like nicotine with Mountain Dew and he farted and it was just like a mist.
Okay, hold on. Is that a recent one?
No, that one I would,
North Carolina?
I could,
Oh, is he a ginger, Cody?
yes, that guy, yes,
See,
that
I'm
was one of
kinda
my,
colorblind. I didn't yeah,
oh,
okay, I remember that now. Like, he was
yeah,
down below, and his buddy had to go real bad, and
yes,
he's like,
that
"I
was
could just"
my most favorite one.
Samir has probably been my favorite so far. Yeah. You got any other cool stories you wanna share before we wrap this up?
Uh,
Hold on, I was gonna ask you, were you able to, like, make the connection of, like, who the host was of the podcast or not?
oh, with you?
Yeah.
Um, at first, um, I didn't know it was you. I just thought it was like one of your like office staff or something. But after it said Michael Fox, and I was like, "Oh, it is him!" And I was like, "Oh my god, this is awesome!"
Yeah, like, I probably need to do better about, like, getting my face out there because you could probably go through all the reels. I've been better about it, like, okay, who who hosts this? Like, is this just somebody stealing clips from other podcasts?
No, I subscribe to you on YouTube, and also I'm subscribed to you on Apple Podcasts. So I listen on those two platforms. And like the way you have it set up, honestly, with the videos and shorts, you do an amazing job.
I appreciate it, man.
I listen to like 8 different podcasts, but you're like honestly like the top one up there. Like you do fantastic job. I would just say keep up the good work.
It's the Facebook's done really well. The podcast listens. I think it's just tough. It's competitive and people like the way people comment on Facebook posts, like, I don't think they understand what we do yet.
Hmm.
They think we're just trying to teach people how to hunt. It's like, no, it's basically an open mic for hunters is what it is.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I say my most embarrassing. I got a couple. I got at least one embarrassing story because you always at the end of the video, you have one embarrassing story, and you also talk about your favorite scent killer.
Yeah. Oh, the the what do I call them? The rapid fire, you mean?
Yeah,
Okay. I'll have to get you in touch with dude, I've interviewed, like, 3 or 4 people in the St. Louis area. I'll
that's
have to
crazy.
get you in touch with them. But, yeah, we'll go into this rapid fire question. I think I have 6 of them. So, the best hunting gear purchase you've ever made?
I say my best hunting. I got two. My seven Remington mag and my PSC Stinger.
The gun that doesn't even leave a blood trail?
Yeah, it just knocks them down. Yeah, it just knocks them.
Sounds like a pretty sweet gun, though.
Oh, it's amazing.
Most gimmicky hunting purchase you've ever made? Total regrets.
All mock scrapes things. All the like to use like spend $30 and buy a mock scrape kit. None of that shit works. Honestly,
What
I
do you
have bought.
use?
Uh, I just pee in my scrapes, and
There
the
you go.
the deer like it. They just show up.
Yeah, no sense spending a bunch of money on your spray, and I could see, like, the rope working, but just buy a rope from the hardware store.
I've done the beads. I've done like the gels. I've done
You
everything.
said beads?
Yeah. So I was part of a hunting company. It was called Whitetail Flare, and we mainly sold custom scent for deer. There would be like a doe estrus to like a mock scent scrape, and they also sold minerals and fertilizer things. So I was like a member with them for a couple of years.
You said beads?
Yeah, beads. So basically, the way we did it when I was a member with you get a like a bottle, like a little like kind of like a traveling shampoo bottle, and you have beads in it, like little tiny like bee beads, but they're liquid form. And what you do is you pour them out, and you dump buck urine or doe estrus, whatever you want on it, and they absorb and they turn into golf ball size side beads. And then what happens when the buck or does peed on the scrape, it sucked up all the scent and then released it every other day. So it made it look like there was a deer actively hitting that scrape every day.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, it worked on the does, but not on the bucks, at least on my farm. But everyone else that tried it out in this area, they were killing like Boone and Crockett bucks off of it.
That's pretty sweet. That's pretty sweet. What about hunting luck versus skill percentage breakdown?
I'd say with me, I would say 90-10.
Skill? 90% skill?
Yeah. And 10% luck. I just way with my farm is set up is if you want to kill a deer off my farm, you have to put in the work
Yup.
because my land is also Native Americans used to hunt this area. So anytime I go hunting, I always offer an offering to the natives,
Yup.
either in like coffee grinds or I would like leave something down there that respect the spirits, and I always kill deer off of it.
That's pretty cool, man. Giving back. What about most controversial hunting hot take?
I feel like, especially what's going on with Oregon right now about how they're outlawing hunting and trapping and such out of that state. I feel like with a lot of people, um, they just have like the wrong taste of hunting with it. Like, I feel like if everyone got together and like took hunter safety classes, because I used to be a hunter instructor, and understand the concept of like managing a healthy population of deer and explain to them if we don't hunt, this is going to lead to extinction, lead to disease spread. I think they would understand more if they had more knowledge of what hunting's really all about.
Yeah, and I think it's just going out there to kill. I mean,
Yeah,
the hunters and outdoorsmen do a lot more good for the herd than
yeah,
what they take off of it.
exactly.
What about most underrated hunting tactic?
Decoys.
Deer, turkey?
I mainly hunt deer using deer decoys, especially opening week Missouri firearms. I would set up using decoys like the second day after the firearm season, like that Monday. Because in Missouri, generally hunting season starts either that Saturday or Sunday. I say that Monday, use decoys and a lot of rattling.
Getting after it, huh?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. Let's roll into some embarrassing hunting stories.
Okay. My first embarrassing hunting story is about my 7 pointer that I shot two or 3 years ago. I had to go pee real bad, so jumped. I climbed down my deer stand, ran in the woods, went to the restroom, got back up, and soon I got up to my stand, there was the 7 pointer was literally right there. I shot him, dropped him, and that was it. I think the pee scent was kind of like a cover scent because it was downwind and he came up the same direction where I went in the restroom and thought I was a deer, and yeah,
Yeah, okay. 90% skill, 10% luck, huh?
yeah.
What else you got?
Another embarrassing hunting story was um, I actually was it was first time I went deer hunting with my grandfather, and we went up north to a family farm, and I really had to go bad, like uh, I really had to go like poop real bad, so I squatted in the woods. I left my gun in my stand, and out popped a one of the bucks that my grandpa saw earlier, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Literally got caught with your pants down.
Literally.
You at least should have had like the rifle on your lap or something.
I did, I just the direction where he came from, I just would not have thought he would come from that direction.
You left yourself a little too vulnerable.
I did, and, like, after that day, I anytime I have to go in the woods, I always have my gun right next to me.
Mistakes happen, at least you learn from them, right?
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, it's been fun. I'm glad we finally got to get you on the podcast.
Yeah, me too. This is like, a dream of mine. I've always wanted to be on a podcast, and since you started and how you're how you do it, it's really honestly a blessing in a life, like a once in a lifetime opportunity to be on this podcast because it's really just amazing, and I love it.
All right, man. It was great meeting you.
Thanks, buddy.